Fennec. Oh, Fenneco. Oh no, that's a Gretzko reference.
I literally feel like you're just talking to yourself right now. I have no idea what you're saying.
You don't watch Gretzko? I highly recommend it. It's a great show.
Oh, yes, yes, you mentioned.
See?
Yeah,
He understands. You just refuse to understand.
It's a cartoon, of course I know.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
You never listened to me.
What?
Jackal first operator eliminated. I sense a Habana coming soon.
Yeah, it's already
Lion.
tinted in the back.
And Lion.
Lion. All right, so that means Hatch is going to get opened. It means Maverick is not as much of a necessity as well. But that's 2 roam denial operators gone, which means there's going to be some roaming.
They banned Doku.
Unless they're channeling Rogue. All right, so Echo or Maestro. Now, I would think Maestro, because Echo is what they generally want to play.
It's EG's ban, so I would expect the Maestro to be removed.
But you never know. They could throw a wild card in here and ban something that TSM wants to play specifically. But no, the Echo going to go actually instead, so Maestro is going to be the one in play. Means they don't want to have to deal with garage problems.
Fair enough. And EG starting off on the defensive side, so they are trying to set themselves up for the side. And yeah, sure, we don't want to. They don't have any motivation to run the Echo in this matchup. Mostly the Maestro works out pretty well.
Of course, the Maestro going to be picked already. Canadian, always the flex player on the team, going to play whatever he plays. Legion he also is fairly good at, so that's going to be the one, unless he 6th picks off of that. It looked like it took him a while to decide, so Bolo just going to be playing support this round, but there are plenty of fragging Habanas, so you never know. Bio, they're going to be the one to steal the 6th pick onto that IQ. But the 6th pick, the highlight, of course, is our boy Young on a shield with Clash coming out here.
Oh, man.
Nothing better than Young on a shield.
On a shield. Remember Recruit Shield Young in year 1.
Dirt Tunnel Clubhouse. Yeah, that's... he is the reason I think they had to nerf Recruit Shield.
Actually, Recruit Shield, the reason why it was played, it was a 2-2 with grenade and smoke.
Yeah.
And, well...
You could just rush it. You just go in Dirt Tunnel. They didn't have as great a denial back then.
Old Hereford as well.
Yeah. Oh, Old Hereford, yeah.
Awful.
I like to highlight Old Hereford because it's the only time you ever saw a meta where Thermite ran a shotgun. for down on the bottom in the trench.
It's so weird to say that.
Right? Maybe it'll come back someday. I hope to see that day again, just for the heck of it. New Hereford, not quite the same.
No.
We'll see how this Clash plays, though. Could be interesting to see. Is it going to be someone that plays in something that plays in a hallway, guarding a window? Lots of ways to play it. Interesting the way they're all playing sewers here and dancing around. Seems TSM a little bit of a slow start here, looking for potentially some those evil eyes or black eyes that are going to be thrown out, typically outside here. Hoping to spot some of those. Not sure if they are out there or not, as we don't have gadget highlighting or anything.
No, that was the greatest bug ever.
Yeah, but that's Bio's job then. But yeah, that was an IQ related bug. But yeah, that was fantastic. I missed the one bug I missed outside of Raptor legs.
We're having like a nostalgia trip here and there.
Right, going back. This game's getting old enough now we can start to have nostalgia. It's fantastic.
Drone's ready.
Well, Achieved will come in and drone the top. This is the same thing that we saw in Nash #1 between Rogue and Dark Zero.
Oh no, he dropped it down.
So, lose the drone early on. The wall will be opened up here by the Thermite. And Crusher actually repels on down. So TSM really taking their time in this assault. But they have the initial phase of the entrance very well done. Young,
that idea.
Young is really the operator you're going to have to look for here with the Clash and Merc. Taking down NVK, no more Maestro to play against. And this gives Merc the ability to come in and play the flank.
I'm kind of surprised Young's not trying to hold the breached hole in the CEO right now, just to deny them the ability to get any peeks through it or anything like that, because they could even potentially peek from the window. So having a shield there would be a great idea. Bolo trying to get a drink from the water cooler, struggling a little bit there. Merc coming in to the lobby now, taking control of it, but I gotta imagine Young on that Clash shield is gonna have to make a big difference here, or they're potentially having a wasted operator. However, TSM doesn't have Capitao to counter, just the Zophia's lifelines to try and deal with that Clash shield. Outside, of course, the old flank the shield. We'll see if he's got enough call-outs coming out from his teammates to make sure he doesn't get flanked too easily. He's just trying to play it safe by Janitor Closet, but Geo takes down Crusher. His job already done, though, not a huge deal, but traded back as he tries to hide under the stairs where he'll live for the rest of his long, eternal life as he gets taken down by Bio. So far, though, advantage here for TSM, who really haven't suffered much loss, whereas EG's 2 operator losses are pretty strong. especially if there was still a C4 on board for Geo, although we have heard some C4s go off, so it could be the case those are already expended potentially. Bio looking for an opportunity. They are just around those walls. Don't want to give him one just yet. See if Merc can take down that Evil Eye. But in the meantime, Necrox takes down Merc, and is a 3v3 here, evened out with 23 seconds left.
Good mind. Stepped in here. Clash will try to slow down opponents. Necrox finds the shot on Bolo. This goes in. That's 2K for him. And continuing to slow down Bio. That's really the struggle. He turns around, he finds 1 kill. All done by Biologic. Necrox taken away. 5 seconds left. This time really is running out. 1 kill found. The Legion is playing it. Canadian perfectly done here to try to slow down his opponents as he peeks away. He won't find the last one as achieved. Still holding the angle by the breached out hole. The Thermite earlier on gets it. Not to be outdone by Canadian.
That was a really good chance. EG could have been able to take that round. They started running out of time, and had the Clash been able to stay alive, they probably would have been able to stick the plant very well, but they came in there while fighting the Clash, hit the melee, the shield, got the kill, and that was just in time to be able to get that plant down. So, fortunately for Canadian, timing wasn't there to completely deny the plant. Overall, though, I got to chalk it down to a little bit that the early kills that they got, again, were onto the Valkyrie and the Maestro. The Maestro would have been able to control that Evil Eye, not to mention suppress a lot of the room, had he still been left alive. Those were definitely good kills. The early kill that was onto the Thermite just really didn't have much impact onto TSM, but it did get close towards the end of that round regardless. Bio actually going to play the Ashe here. Which means Geo going to pick up the Mozzie. Now they're finally going to be going down to CCTV. I say finally as if there's been a million rounds. It's really just the second round. But
finally.
It's interesting that CEO was the primary. We were talking earlier on Bank about how CCTV was the primary for teams and that was to be expected. So it was interesting EG were trying to shake it up a little bit by playing CEO. Almost like a callback to a few seasons ago when that was started to become the primary site. I think partially started by Rogue and the way that they were playing it with their long angles and cast barricades. That kind of became more of a thing, but it has since died off. There's been a lot of teams wanting to play downstairs instead. So the interesting thing for me now is, will we see some roam play? Now that the Jackal and the Lion both banned, they have more opportunity to go for the roam play, and no Doka being played here from TSM. They don't really have anything to do much to stop it outside of maybe just trying to go ham with the Ashe or the Sophia. Interesting pre-play C4 there from Geo. Got to imagine there's a Black Eye. He's going to be checking to watch it, looking for the right time. Unfortunately, it switches off just in time to miss it. Bolo going to be starting to work towards stock here, as well as they're just going to try and take lobby in the meantime, hoping for a fast clear. So it's a little bit of efficiency here for TSM, although a lot of players droning for themselves. Merc taking control of top floor as well, so just not a lot of roam presence from EG to try and slow this down. Might be a mistake, but that one pre-play C4 could be a big difference maker. Yeah. Merc just barely not spotting the feed either.
It's a standard position, really, when you're trying to deal with this. You know that there's somebody going to play at the bottom of the stairs. It's completely normal. Why are you running extended barrel on anything?
For fun.
Geo. My mans. Where's Rogue Knight?
I feel like the extended barrel might as well just be like a bayonet at this point. There's the roam from Geo. Yeah, he is definitely doing exactly what he should, which is pre-firing doors to try and stay alive as long as possible. You don't necessarily need to win a gunfight. You just need to stop there from being a gunfight as long as you can. He's on his cams, though, so hopefully he's in a safe spot at this point. Looks like he's downstairs again.
Yeah, just dropped to the hatch, having the rotation hole, as you see, between Archive and the open area office. So EG are very, very well burning the time.
Yeah, a minute and a half, not too bad.
At least the candle at one end of it.
We'll see, though, if they're able to actually set up for this execute here. They still need to get the Thermite down to blow open the walls, take control of the server stairs, which they have yet to do here. So this is the real big problem, is this may take them a while to take these server stairs. Necrox is always a beast on smoke, has been since year one when he used to play. And this is going to be problematic to take. Of course, his red dot's going to give away his position a little bit potentially, but nope. He gets flashed out. That should be an easy take, but they don't follow it up. He's got the smoke follow-up instead. Thatcher trying to do some work from the hatch here above, but 53 seconds in, they're still fighting this, still fighting smoke. He unfortunately, the timing, how did he pull that off with the shotgun? One kill finish off from that as well, and still holding it. 45 seconds left. This is hugely going in the favor of EG, just off of time. At this point, they almost might want to drop hatch and go from behind, but NVK playing behind the servers makes it impossible.
Necrox finally flashed. Crusher will turn around, try to fire into him, and immediately take him away. The second, though, NVK peeks around the corner, finds the kill by the blue stairs. Just trying to slow things down, but Merc will take him out. Low HP now. AG left with young Canadian and Geo. The Maestro, the Valk, and the Mozzie, and there's almost no time left to TSM. The utility being thrown in the back. The Maestro peeks in. Can't really find the kill on the planter in the back. Bolo's position has been known, and Nitro Cell will connect with Merc. That's really all that matters, as Bolo's left on his own Canadian even. The last second will turn in and smack the Habana down. EG come back round downstairs in the basement.
Well done, especially by Geo and a play we saw from Necrox on the server stairs. Those two things combined definitely set them up for success that round. There was just so long of a delay. NVK unfortunately wasn't as successful as I was hoping he'd be from there behind the server. He did manage to get one kill, I believe, before getting traded out. So not the worst, especially with all the time that had been burned, denying some of their ability to fight with more man advantage onto a late push there into CCTV. Definitely paid off, but NVK maybe would have been a little more powerful at a longer angle. Canadian actually going to be bringing out the Kaed this round after teasing the clash. This should be interesting. Bio with a 10,000 IQ, 6th pick from Ash to Ash. They say ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. Dust to dust. So, tied up though, they're going to try CEO yet again. Now they won their downstairs. So far not going to a third bomb site yet. See if Canadian's choice of Kaed is going to be a game changer this round in terms of being able to deny a little bit longer that wall being open, because you saw the efficiency come out from Crusher in terms of getting it open last time and then just repelling out to be able to play a little more successfully. But it still ran very low on time for TSM, and maybe so then the plan is this time delay even longer if you possibly can, and then the rest will maybe work. Although the clash was part of the reason they were able to delay successfully last time, so not picking that could hurt a little bit. Geo actually setting up to potentially throw out the cam here, although it looks like he's actually making it a little bit riskier for them to repel these windows. I like that. I mean, if that's what he's going for, that's an interesting idea to make it so, first off, they don't know where the cam's coming out. Second off, they can't repel up safe without maybe throwing some drones up first to make sure they're not going to get insta-peeked the moment they repel up. Interesting idea. They're obviously going to be looking for cams outside because of those windows being open, which I don't think he threw any out there. So again, a little bit of a mind games coming out here. I like that idea as they go for a different sort of repel around the other side to try and take from the top of the square. But Geo actually playing the roam here. Could actually catch them from behind. He has a cam out here. Does spot one of them. This could be the end here for Zofia. And there it is. Merc goes down early. That is one of their soft breaches down. Thankfully, they still have Bio, but a great initial kill by Geo, and he just gets to rotate back like last time. Hey, Kaed, can you open this for me, by the way? Nope.
Canadian. Okay. He's waiting maybe to get the time. Geo has to decide on that. And
there we go.
Impact grenade from the Clyde.
It's going to continue to be a pain on those rotates. Nothing for Bio. No freebies.
Okay, fair enough. But this is pretty good position early on from Geo, just to have his camera in a position where it's so blocked. You're looking for specific bits to check, and not really more than that. So very smart of him to realize that position is available and use it to his advantage. It's definitely not something that you'll be looking for, especially the fact that there's no IQ, specifically the operator on this position.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to drone things manually. At least there's not a Mozzie this time to be able to capture those drones, something that worked out okay for Geo previously in terms of helping him delay. But now that he's just completely on the roam as the Valkyrie and already gotten one kill, he's done his job and can just pop up at the least opportune time for TSM. I like how they have the redundant hard breachers, especially since Kaed's going to make it a pain there for Thermite to get his job done. That leaves some opportunity for Bolo to be the one to open up the wall, potentially. But he's just busy guarding the angle while Crusher tries to get his job done. Canadian already having his Electro Claws up here. They did manage to get the wall open. You see, actually, Crusher already into sight here and holding down, going for a potential plant. Similar to what we saw from the early plants in the previous matchup on Bake. This is looking like TSM could actually pull this off. Here's Crusher, manages to get the plant down.
Now, all he needs to do is just dive on out, and the Chief can just watch the location. Bolo will find the kill on Canadian. A battle of very different perspectives and very different experiences in PL. Bio with one more on Geo, as finally his teammates will be avenged. Bolo realizing there's one player here in trading when there's actually two, trying to bank around the corner for them. One's already down. You don't get that pop-up information on the board. Bio well done as he helps out Bolo as well. Bolo find 1 kill with Achieved on the last one. Both NVK and Young taken away. It's TSM to grab round number 3. Second one in total.
It seemed like EG that round just really didn't have the intel. They should have been knowing that the plant was going down. Should have known the plant was going down. I mean, had they been watching that, it probably could have been an easy kill on a Crusher, especially when he was going for the plant. Not sure how much coverage there was from the different angles. However, Canadian, for example, playing Janitor Closet might have been able to have a decent angle to take him out while he's mid-plant. So just their inability to deny that plant completely backfiring, and again, the windows being in control by TSM. Just that site in general not working out very good for EG either time. Bolo going to be the one to go on Ash this time. That should be interesting. And Canadian going to play that Mozzie. We'll see how things shake down for the first Teller's defense. You'll see that they're just going to give up on CEO and go with their third bomb site, which is probably the smart thing to do at this point. CEO just is not working out for them. They just don't have enough control of the site itself once that wall gets opened by Crusher. They seem to lose the ability to hold the room itself, which is interesting given the fact that they had control of the other rooms like Conference and Janitor Closet, so they should have been able to. Well, they're going to be defending top floor either way, though, as they're going to be below it. One more armor panel left for Necrox to be able to set up here. Geo, again, opening up all these windows, just making it hard for them to guess how things are going to go down here. He might actually throw a camera out here this time, just because he did last round. There we go. So the mind game's working out. They might not look for it this time. The repel was strong from them last time, so having a camera there definitely will make a difference, especially when they're trying to take control of the CEO for a top-down attack. They may be using those repels again.
Now, that IQ change from Bio is definitely something that's going to help out TSM. I mean, you've seen the amount of impact that Geo can have with those cameras, but now it makes even more sense because you have Mozzie on the board. Now, the selection obviously happens before you're able to see what your opponents are bringing, but it's definitely a counter that should work out very well for TSM. A Claymore is brought, no breaching charges, and because there's no buck, things end up being played a bit differently.
And he's not banned this time.
Yep. We saw him on the coastline. We actually didn't see him on the coastline. We just saw the ban. But breaching charges are being brought by Zofia, so there's a lot of flexibility available here for TSM should they take the top floor quickly early on in the round. And Zofia will find 1 kill. That's NVK taken away. There's a second player as well from EG that's hiding in the elevator shaft and could be taken out pretty easily.
It was good for Bolo too that Merc was able to capture the one pushing their NVK, because he was actually in a situation where he was about to get potentially flanked as he was too busy looking from some different sides down towards stock, pushing that way. But Bolo in the meantime actually looking to potentially drop down into the open area office. No, instead going to rotate. They're doing a good job in terms of taking a lot of top floor control. They haven't turned that into a ton of downwards pressure just yet, but captured drone here by Mozzie. Canadian doing a good job spotting the rotate. Might actually be able to call out for a potential kill, as they don't know that that drone's been captured there just yet. Might have been one that got captured when they weren't looking, or captured after. Bolo going to be the one spotted here. Canadian going to try and do something about it, but he's going to make a lot of noise ripping down this castle barricade. Bolo's going to spot it and actually do a lot of damage to Canadian. However, traded back by Geo. Great teamwork, as I don't think he knew there was 2 people there.
Very well done here for EG to double up on the angles, having 2 players to lock down that free kill basically on Bolo. Nothing for Achieved here to find from the top floor just yet. So there should be a rotation hole from the open area, and again blowing up the bottom side of the floor. Canadian, a beautiful nitro cell coming up into Achieved. Again, one of the beautiful things about Mozzie is the flexibility having nitro cell as well as some pretty good SMGs to run. Merc taking no damage in the engagement, but at least his position is let known by the defense. Young will find the kill on Crusher, so Diffuser cannot be set. 2 players left alive from TSM. It's both Bio and Merc. A good start as usual, always by TSM, but it seems like the rounds from EG ends up going their way so far. Geo taking down 1 and Necros for the second. You have to crawl through a tiny rotation hole. It's basically just built for you to die in.
Yeah. It also is to fight the stairs. To some extent.
Yeah.
To be able to use it. I mean, yes, you can use it the other way around. Of course, the attacker can use it as well. But it's also useful for retake scenarios for defenders in situations where they're forced to rotate out or their roamers left to come and try and stop the defuse plant because they've lost their site players. So it is absolutely very useful. So seeming like CEO wasn't the play, but CCTV and Tellers have both now been won. As they can now rotate back to CCTV because the last two were Tellers and CEO. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Canadian not actually going to stick on that Mozzie. Teamwork last round, though, between Geo and Canadian definitely working out, especially since Canadian did not die to Bolo. He was able to get that C4 kill unachieved. So things kind of just fell from there. And Geo has been very good in terms of playing very flexibly and kind of doing his own thing while working together with his teammates in terms of capturing some easy kills or flanks that he can catch, of course, with his evil eyes, or black eyes. It does make a difference. His ability to move around that flexibly, because we saw what happened earlier when Rogue was super static on their defenses, how much that hurt them in terms of those attacks coming down there. Because that is the big thing is TSM are not able to get a lot of picks before they go for their execute, but it's also the case where they've also lost a lot of time because they've been spending all the time hunting EG or trying to deal with players like Canadian and Geo on that roam, so they're down to much less time when they go to make the plays. And also, there's usually more intel coming out from EG than it seemed like Rogue had earlier on their static defenses, so they're just able to actually play off it a lot better with things like C4 kills and flanks coming out from the cameras. We'll see how this attack goes this time, though, that now that TSM have had one chance to take this, they have some better idea how to play it, but looks like it's getting played differently here. For example, with Canadian on the Kaed this time.
Should have rotation hatches to get down to the site, and if we can go down, back down to open area, we can check out any of the hatches that have been opened up or still left in the original presence to allow Canadian to rotate back on the site. Valkyrie all on her own now in Tellers. Bio will take down the camera. Yes, I believe it was hit there at the end. We're turning around on the inside, but Valkyrie actually had already escaped into the hallway itself, and Geo is really being thrown on the side of TSM. Just need to get one kill off of this whole engagement. Oh no, he pops up, he finds one, 2 kills for Geo. Sure, you lose some Bertila, but that's completely worth it. Geo pops on out. That's the Nitro Cell that had already been used, but both Bolo and Achieved are dead, and Crusher might actually be close to death himself.
Well, he's not sure if he rotated out the hatch. Geo was opening the hatch to be able to rotate out of it, but it looked like Crusher just didn't have a way to verify whether or not he'd rotate out. It looks like he's going to get the drone. No, he jumps the drone. Oh, almost right onto the hatch. He would have lost that due to the Kaed electricity. Geo is so far my MVP for EG. He is
He's a pretty crazy player, isn't he?
He is definitely nutty. It's paying off here too, because Crusher now completely ignoring stock at this point. Geo is just going to make the comeback of a lifetime. He's got some cameras, I imagine, left somewhere. Although, as you said, Bio being on the IQ now means his camera's less likely to stay alive for a while. So we'll see. It's just going to have to come down to game sense probably for his plays here. But if he could just put the pressure on the top of those server stairs to help out his team out of Necrox, this could be just a slaughter against TSM.
Necrox already used up all his utility. 2 players dropped and should be eliminated here as Merc will find the kill on Necrox finally. At least Crusher has been taken away, but Merc will be picked on up. Bio taken out. It's NVK to find 1 kill. But Merc is so low on HP, literally anything will kill him right here, right now. Joe's watching the 1 point of access through the blue stairs, and he drops on down. Merc turning into pre-fire and actually finds Geo. It's a pretty good start here. Merc will have to ace his opponents, but yep, that's not going to happen. Is he going to try to survive? He's going to try. Yeah.
Good luck. And the bailiff kill there for the memes.
It's so unusual to see any sort of damage done like that with an evil eye.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good use of the evil.
Like you said, he was at the point a single negative thought would have downed him. We'll see. They're going to go to open area. Well. So much like we were talking about on Coastline, how there was 4 bomb sites and they were actually going to the 4th bomb site, which was rare from Sonics there. We're going to see the 4th bomb site here coming out from EG, who are going to just try and play a little bit differently. Something we don't see nearly often enough is open area, probably because, I mean, I hate to put it bluntly, but it kind of sucks. It's just not a good bomb site in terms of people actually succeeding on it. Chief actually smartly going over to the sledge now that he sees the castle. That'll make things a little bit easier. Unfortunately, he still can't throw his hammer, so he's going to have to get up close, try and take down those castle barricades. But those are crucial to holding this site to an extent, at least denying angles. It's not necessarily about denying walk-in access all the time. The more angles you can deny, because people can't, well, shoot through those castle barricades, the more you're able to sit in positions comfortably. And the open area being a series of cubicles the way it is definitely an open area to try and fight. So we'll see how they set this up. But Canadian actually going to pick up the mantle of Valkyrie. Instead, Geo going to be on Legion. We'll see if he's going to hang out upstairs. I gotta imagine he is. You see the cameras being set up to help him out there in the hallway. I like the way it's set on top of or on the back of that sign, so that way when you're coming from the entrance at the top of the square skylight lobby, you're not going to see it going that way. It's going to be watching the other way. Of course, it won't see you as well, but once you walk past it, you're unlikely to look back, and that gives an opportunity for someone to, say, come out from the conference room for an easy kill, potentially, you know, from Geo. He also is going to have goo mines up there to trip him up a little bit if they start to go to kind of creep up on him, maybe even crouch walk. He'll at least potentially he'll come get the drop from Bio. Is going to try another approach. Nope. I thought he was going to go into stock, but now he's going to have potentially a teammate do it. In the meantime, they're just getting some droning done to make sure lobby's clear so Merc can go in. Now, Merc had a great round last round with that 3K. Couldn't quite get the win, but so far he's been showing up for his team. So I think it's kind of up to the rest of them, really, to start showing up, especially Achieved.
Well, droning, you still need to clear up the top floor, so you just go through the usual whole checklist to be done by TSM before they enter down on the site. And specifically, after that last round, you really need to be sure that there's nobody lurking up top. And Merc walking on up, he spots one player in the back and finds the headshot. There you go. Always, always make sure you check the elevator shafts. It's happened so many times where you just don't drone it, don't check it, and then you just end up losing to a flank. And a second kill as well from Bio. Well done. Geo eliminated, as well as MVK, Young, Necrox, and Canadian.
So efficient. They took the entire top floor and within, what, a 30-second span once they finally had some idea where they were playing?
Mm-hmm.
That's much, much better. This is looking a little bit dire for open area. However, there still is some time left for them to get delayed. Minute 30 is pretty good for the clear, but now they actually have to turn that into something. And Bolo, we'll see if he can have a little bit more efficient shock drone play than Rexon. So he's going to try and sneak it around underneath those castle barricades. Use those a little bit to his advantage in terms of peeking things before actually committing to opening them with the sledge. He's going to get good intel on kitchen as well. The Maestro doesn't see him. Necrox too busy watching open area.
Well, some people have commitment issues, some people don't, Devin.
I won't.
No comment.
I won't commit to that.
So, now at least TSM are sure that there's nobody playing downstairs in the basement, so they can just walk on in, take control of the hallway, not worry about that bottom stair play that a lot of roamers like to run. Now, Bola actually is watching the opposite end through the blue stairs, so it's possible that TSM are just still actually unsure about it. Evil Eye will be eliminated, and Merc will look on down, so yes, TSM are unsure their opponents have any sort of bottom map control. Crusher will go for the plant as Previre in from Merc. Shot down as 2 kills now will go the way of EG, achieved with one on the Canadian at least. A ball for another and achieved for the last one. That's 2 kills for him. The SMG 11. Young, last man left standing, and really not for long. Actually, he wasn't standing, he was prone on the floor.
He just pre-laid down. Save us all some time and ragdoll effects. So, good on Achieved. I was calling him out specifically saying he could improve what he was doing, and, well, he did. Good play from him as well as combined with Bolo and Merc doing a good job helping set that up for his team. Crusher, unfortunately, the victim of a C4, but overall, pretty good attack. Those 2 initial early kills, of course, forced EG to kind of turtle down a bit onto site, but then being such a big open area, there's only so many angles they could cover with so little manpower without overexposing themselves, so good on TSM to take advantage of that. They did lose a few people trying to get that going down, but the flank coming out from Achieved, for example, just well done. Geo going to sneak the 6th pick over to Capitao as we now finally switch over to the other half, tied 3-3. We'll see what EG's got for their attack as TSM going to start on the more typical downstairs. Something that was just a little bit of a struggle for TSM to attack. We'll see if TSM can have the same success as EG did on their defense of it. Castle going to actually be coming out from Bolo here, so they can help hold tellers and archives. So definitely some roam play going to be coming out as the rotate also set up into open areas as needed. Of course, got to reinforce the hatch as well. Curious who's going to be playing server stairs. A lot of smokes don't play. Necrox is one of the exceptions of one of the few smokes who will play server stairs, and the way he plays it is to use those smokes to help delay it, rather than depending on using the smokes when it comes down to the plant, because he'd rather just delay earlier on, since you got to defend those stairs anyways. But he's one of the few with that logic, so I doubt we'll be seeing that from Bio. Bolo, though, interesting. He's going to be the one on the roam. As I said earlier, though, a castle can commit a bit to a roam because, well, they're a little more expendable once the job has been done. Drone doesn't catch him just yet, as he's just setting up everything. He's got his rotation hole, he's got his castle barricade, setting up the hatch as well. Geo just opening up for his teammate. And we'll see if they can catch Bolo on the roam, but Achieve is going to be there to help at least a little bit with the pulse heartbeat sensor if he's playing a little more aggressively.
All right, drops in the drone. Young as well, checking in from the outside. And back in the thermite in the round. And utility be spotted. Nope, nobody spotted just yet either. This is a big roam in Archive, so EG really have to be careful of how they play against this, but they should be the best team to deal with it because they have done this themselves in this very specific game. So should be very doable as Merc will continue to maneuver around with Bolo in support. Crusher's downstairs in case he is needed, probably playing in the garage. The same peak angle that we see before. And information has been given. MVK taken away. Great shot from Bolo as Merc rotates back to the hallway. Now he's just playing actually along the outside of the bottom of Spiral. So Canadian might not know of Merc's sneaky location.
Ooh, I don't think he does. There's no roam trackers being brought here as the Jackal and the Lion banned, and no one wanting to stick it with Dokkaebi. Bolo's still being left to be free reign as well. I like the coverage between him and Merc.
Quick peek from the Zofia, and Bolo will go in for the fire, and Canadian lands it. Bolo, only a couple of shots, able to connect to the body of EG's captain. Merc will get stunned, so no Nitro Cell could be used, and actually is stunned in location, so unless somebody opens up the hatch for him, he should get cleared up very quickly here. Actually runs away as the Zofia comes around. Look at the amount of time that's being wasted. All of this just works so perfectly. The Zofia drops on down. Canadian, the Nitro Cell unfortunately will not connect, and Merc is just unsure. He'll get fired upon from above or not. It's going to get droned and probably fired upon from the soft walls. Everything hits the railing, and Necrox finally eliminates him. But look at the amount of time. Devin, 30 seconds left. Yep. And just now, EG are preparing.
And it's only 4v3 to one-man advantage. However, with the Capitao, that will pay off quite a bit. Obviously, the Thermite's not going to do a ton at the end, but those flashbangs still can help out. The Pulse still alive as well, going to help things out. Along with the smoke, they have enough smoke to burn enough time here, but they need to stop dying. Geo takes down one Canadian, another. It's all down to Bio, who gets finished off by Canadian. Easy win for them at that point. Just not enough denial or delays. Hatches open. Couldn't fight back against it. They really needed to bunker down a little bit better, but losing that flank like that by Canadian, just what are you going to do? You can't sit in red hallway. You
really can't, and the problem is you don't have enough manpower for the end of the round. It was a good roam attempt from TSM, and frankly, it really could have tipped the balance of the scales for the entire matchup had at least one extra player survived. Yep. And because EG were so fast to lock down the Valkyrie, and there was no way for the rotation to happen, it really weighed heavily for TSM in the latter parts of the round, as there was nobody to watch their flank, which would have been exactly what you'd like. Operator.
Well,
hello.
Canadian 6 picks to the Monty. This should be interesting for a push here onto CEO. A memory Necrox, I'm sure, holds dearly of what that could be like when he faced up against Fabian and pushing him in that infamous one shot that just changed everything, and not the one that hit JFK. So we'll see if Canadian can make a big difference with that, though. And it's not Young, unfortunately. He's going to be on Thermite instead. We aren't going to see too many big changes here from TSM in terms of operator lineup. There again, also using the signs at the top there to block the evil, or the black eyes. There's too many eyes in this game. It's like a spider or something. Try and make sure that they can't spot those. He is also going to open up all the windows like that, so they don't necessarily know where to watch, just like Geo was. So a similar idea. He could be the one to be on the roam here. It looks like Canadian doing some droning in the meantime. Try and potentially find him. And a repel here from Necrox could actually catch him off guard, as there hasn't been a lot of peeking through the windows just yet. We'll call out there. Oh, there's the whiffed shots from Necrox. Of course, it's going to cost them quite a bit, and that would have been a great early kill. Merc all juiced up and no one to shoot as they peel off. No, Necrox is still going to try and fight. He's going to open up that long angle down into the hallway there by Stock. Geo here up on this Capitao with the LMG, just barely not catching what I imagine is achieved. He's in a Stock now. A lot of spread out defense here, just looking for opportunities. So far, it's not opportunities for EG just yet, as that with the early shot from Necrox. Could have been that opening kill, just not happening. Merc playing the old Doc roll.
And just sitting back, he's got all the windows to run with here, but he also has to be afraid of anybody peeking around those outside windows. As MVK is on reverse repel, and really reverse repel is so difficult to deal with. It's
also hard to do.
It's hard to do because you're like, it's the complete reverse of what you're used to seeing, but the angles that you're afforded compared to what your opponents can see just make it so much better than any other alternatives. Now, a good thing for Canadian here, who's already taken control of the lobby and walked on up the spiral staircase, is that he knows that there's bio set all on his own, and then the Maestro in the elevator shaft. So should MVK and the rest of the team really lock down the defenders, it would work very well for EG, and a very well done peek here from NVK. And this will burn bio out. Geo with a fire as well, just watching for him from below. Great play by EG.
Yeah, that was definitely what they needed to do. The Capitao just completely burning him out. Plus, they took out the Doc as well, so his teammate there that was going to be covering for him, now dead. These castle barricades becoming actually working against TSM, I imagine, on a potential retake. Necrox taking a little bit of damage, but damage is done at this point. I don't know that TSM can really hold back a Monty unless they get a lucky kill on it at this point. Smoke's only going to do so much, but Bo does find at least one before getting traded off by Necrox.
At least one trade off. Young with another one underachieved, and Young another uncrushed. EG are starting to walk away with this matchup, and you don't usually see these sorts of spiral staircase takes with a Monty. They're definitely attacks that either are last minute or really rely on the Montagne, and in this case it worked out so fantastically well. Kudos to EG to really pull out a OG style assault, really, from back in the good old days, and they might be going for the Monty again here. We'll have to look at the 6th pick, and you expect this to change?
Yeah, I would expect them to, but you might not.
And
of course he's going to.
It will, okay.
I liked that play, though, because it was the teamwork. When Canadian got up, he didn't get too overly aggressive. He didn't push himself into a position where Merc could shoot him from a different angle while he's busy trying to pressure the elevator. Instead, he has a Capitao. Geo knows exactly what to do. Hey, I'll go burn him out and then shoot him when he tries to drop. That was exactly the play, and it worked out just great. And then, of course, at the same time, it was good timing. The NVK was also able to get that kill onto Merc, and in doing so, really freed that up for... at that point, Canadian just kind of walk in, put tons of pressure on them, and then, of course, the man advantage combined with the Monty coming at you. It was down to them just try and hold sight as long as they possibly could against that, but you're not really going to stop a plant unless you get a lucky C4 that happens to get the planter or something like that, or the Monty. We'll see how they do on Tellers, though. They've done CEO and CCTV, lost them both, so they could play either of them again, but they're going to pull a Vitality and just continue to rotate sites regardless. However, at least they don't have to deal with the Montaigne this time. However, they've got to try and hold this top floor for long as possible. So, of course, EG can't just rip up the floors, you know, and start putting pressure downwards. But I don't know how much breach charges they're bringing. They don't really look like a lot of operators that would be holding breach charges, so they might just...
possibly?
Yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah, I would imagine NVK is probably the only one I'm trying to think of who could even have breach charges. Obviously, Young could, you know, use one of his exothermic charges, but that's a little... easier to counter, actually.
Can we have a quick check on NVK, Marcio? Let's bring Claymores.
All right, well, they are just going to go with maybe more of a horizontal attack, actually. You don't have to take the top floor, because if they can't open up the floor as well, they also can't do the same thing back to you.
You can use your breaching round for that, that's for sure. There's still one left.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if they're not going to destroy the floor, and you're not going to destroy the floor, their top-down control doesn't actually help them.
Mm-hmm.
So...
All right.
However, it does look like they are trying to take some top floor control anyways. Maybe just clear out roamers. Just to be thorough instead. Drones are starting to put pressure on him as Achieve, though, it takes down Geo, and then Necrox to follow it up. He is really starting to show up here finally. Canadian almost about to fall as well.
On his own, and trading will fall back. Bio with one more on a young. Diffuser dropped on the floor. And Canadian solo on HP. He just on the other side of the map, basically, compared to NVK, his last standing comrade at this point. Full HP on the Thatcher, sure, and 2 EMPs. Great. Has got to be enough to be victorious at the end of it? I don't think so.
Very enthusiastic.
Definitely not.
Sarcastic. Well, that drone killed it. They are trying to just get intel at this point, but what are you going to do? You're repelling outside. Yeah, you've got a minute 10, but it's, I was going to say Ash and a Thatcher. Now it's just Ash with less than 25 HP. And just, you know, does the merciful thing for us all.
Thank you, Canadian.
You are the man.
A hoot and a nanny.
Hello! It was starting to get to the end of the time here, so
yeah.
Don't make us waste another minute like it's a casual match.
And it's the same thing with Corey. I talked to Corey about his grenade play, wonderful grenade play on Bank a few days ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I did it on purpose.
No, he didn't. But okay.
Because this way, my opponents will look at the kill feed and they won't understand what's happening. And that's the exact moment where his team started doing very, very well and started fragging out against. Who were they even playing against? Wait, I have my notes somewhere. And they were playing against Mouse. So that's how it ended up working.
That's adorable of Corey to think he's that smart.
It's adorable.
It's adorable. What a genius. What is he doing playing this game? He should be building rocket ships or something.
He's too old for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, 5-4. TSM could bring this back. They are going to be going down to CCTV, a site they have yet to win, but at least they won one site, their third bomb site, oddly enough. So they're going to have to hold out a little bit better now. They had some good roam plays in the past, partially helped out by Achieved on the Pulse. Looks like they're going to go for a similar play. However, it's going to be a little more predicted. You see Necrox, for example, identifying the roam here in Tellers, and then the Archives. Bolo going to be playing there with them as well. So something similar to last time. The question is, will they get caught off guard? Now, part of the reason it didn't work out as well as they liked last time is Bolo got a little overzealous trying to take shots onto the stairs and the railings. Got a little bit in the way. Merc, unfortunately, at that time wasn't able to be set up perfectly for a trade. I don't think they had any idea someone was coming down the stairs. It was just a question of opportunity, I suppose. So this time I think they're going to have to be a little bit better about communicating and setting up for these crossfires, situations where they also don't get crossfire. Because you don't want to be in a 1v1 situation as a roamer if you can help it. A 2v1 for roamers is fantastic. The only downside, of course, is you might give away the position of both the roamers in doing so. But then one of them can rotate, if not both of them. So still, I think, an ideal position. Merc opening up a hole in the ceiling that, of course, can potentially work against him, but obviously he set it up. NVK actually with the prone wall in to Lone Office. Canadian taking control of the top floor as well, starting to open up the floor here.
Oh, Merc. So close. At least this time EG fixed the problem of not having enough breaching charges. Necrox will still find one on Bolo. Taking out the castles. Again, it's not a great operator to have later on in the round. I mean, it's not really doing much.
Oh, well. This is aggressive by Achieved for the Pulse to be doing.
Usually it's something the castle would be doing in this situation. Yeah. But the castle was already lost. And
one ump or another.
Unfortunately. Merc on his own, struggling there with the drone, but we'll find it eventually. Just watching the one rotation hole that has been pre-opened by the defense to walk into Archive, and actually he takes his eye away at the last second.
Necrox, the entry, fragging Habana.
Necrox can do everything. Honestly, Necrox is one of the, if not the most consistent Pro League player ever.
Well, he's been around literally since season
forever.
1. Yeah.
I mean, he's great. Amar is, for lack of a better America Light term, greatest of all time.
Yeah, he used to play for a team of all dinosaurs. Goes back some days.
Well, Geo continued drone in from below, and he's the Capitao, so that hatch is going to be perfect for him later on. Red hallway should be scanned in just a moment, and the Pulse is so focused on his heartbeat tensor, doesn't really spot the drone. Nitro cell, what was that Nitro cell? It just hit the floor of an indestructible spot. Okay. Crusher.
Last time.
Crusher and Cheat are just going to fall all the way to the back as Bio's on his own. He's using any gas canisters he's got. And TSM realizing that they are in a bad spot will have to go in. NVK will land the kill on Necrox and then follow it up with Achieved with Bio the last man standing. Geo, very well done. He's watching from above, using the hatch to his advantage. Everything set up very well. Round 11 will start up. And we are close to the end of match point. Evil Geniuses close to finishing this off. TSM really had a few excellent rounds, yet it all seems to be lost.
I gotta say though, EG the only one tonight showing they can defend CCTV very well. It just seems to be a bad sight for every other team. And we'll see how CEO goes again this time, as they failed it earlier. And it's a tough spot to be in for TSM. Sneaking a 6th pick of the Legion, but trying to run the same plan again. Great in theory, but once Bolo got picked, and then it was easy for, I believe it was Merc to get picked, the aggressive pulse play from Achieved really didn't do a lot to be able to try and stunt the attack. And again, it was a similar 5v3 situation where EG knew exactly what to do to execute on that, which is open up hatches, play from above for angles while they scramble around because they don't have a lot of coverage, and just take them out from above. And they also tried to get a little greedy coming up the stairs to try and get into that fight. Did force a team kill at least, but just that wasn't enough to really save the day. See if the CEO defense can offer anything different now. Before, part of the reason it fell was the push from the Monty of Canadian. That Monty is not in play this time, so that is one advantage TSM have to potentially try and bring this back into a tie situation, but they definitely cannot get their 3 points now, and EG look to at least take 1. Although I gotta say, at this point, probably 3. EG have been on a good tear. Necrox with 10, Geo with 9. Some good fragging coming out. Even NVK and Young at 5 each here with Canadian 7. And this is just overall, they're doing an excellent job in terms of fragging out, whether or not the rounds are won.
Look, man, when you have a Necrox, you don't need anything else.
I'd take 2 Necroxes.
2, I think, is too much for this wall to handle.
Well, you know what? If it turns out to be too much, one can just team kill the other.
Be careful what you wish for. Which one is the real one?
The one that gets the kills, that's fine.
Well, Necrox on the Habana here, on the rappel outside. Nobody for him to spawn any.
I hope that worked.
Yet. Should have. He's going to use a second set of Exkyros to open up an even bigger wall if the first one had worked out. Feel the explosion going off in the back as NVK has walked into Skylight. And Merc trying to peek against the Habana. He knows that the part of the windows have been opened up, but he can't really find a straight shot on his opponent. Bio sticking to the elevator with Achieved and support from below in open area.
I like Achieved's potential flank from below here, but it's going to come down to timing and intel, because they could potentially burn out the Legion again in here. So it's going to be a lot of coverage, I think, of each other is going to be the only thing that could save TSM in this round here, is that they just make sure they at least trade and potentially take out high-value operators on EG on those trades.
Achieved in from below with a halfway mark in this possibly ultimate round. Necrox finding Bio. It's a very good play here. Just rappels up, gets the kill, gets on down. I'll spot the dock of Mark on the rotation away. Going into Archives. Achieved is also here to support. This rotation holds as Merc will find Geo. Trying to go in and play against him in Archives. Good to equalize the numbers. Capital lost for the Legion. It's a pretty equal trade between the defense and the attack.
Still looking decent for EG, but they are starting to run a little low on time. They do have things open here, and Canadian getting Crusher here means that there's a lot less to delay outside of one potential C4, and maybe some impacts if you count those for delaying. But the droning coming out well here, and Merc so far off site being a 1-speed. If he doesn't win this...
Oh, Necrox, what a shot! 30 HP taken away for a beautiful shot like that. That is fantastic. Merc away, as Achieved will find him finally on the refrag. 3v2 solo advantage for EG as Bolo set on the side end zone. Diffuser is going to get put down here by Young as Achieved will rotate on back to the top floor. NVK finished off. Both the Thermite and the Sophia last alive. Not sure if Canadian has any utility for this to be used, but double impact are still available for the castle of Bolo. Achieved already used his Nitro Cell. Will not connect with any fire. And on his own, it's Bolo to walk into the blind fire from Young. Saw is required, basically both lining up in the same location. Oh, the turnaround from Young, winning the round. 7-4 victory for Evil Geniuses. So EG secure. A few extra points and then 3 on the board.
You could really feel the coordination there from EG. Just a lot of the way they were playing off of each other. I mean, it was highlighted most to me in that Monty round, but overall, they just seemed to have a lot of that coordination. And then Necrox fragging out the way he was in some of those rounds was a big difference maker, especially in that last round as well, taking down the Doc, who was going to be potentially a pain from behind. Just overall excellent play from EG, showing that that's why they keep going to bank. TSM, though, despite losing, I thought they still had a pretty decent match. It just took too many 1v1 fights that they lost. Tried to peek things they probably didn't need to. I mean, you shouldn't have been losing Bio, who was in the elevator as the Elysian, to the Habana, of all things. Maybe from the window it was hard to tell where he got picked from, but he shouldn't have been getting lost early. He needed to be playing there as long as possible. So just things like that were indicative of why they lost that last round. Just too many peaks, and then as soon as you start losing people and get a little bit more desperate on those peaks, it becomes more and more problematic for you to try and pull it back in the round, especially the desperation of being on match point. Overall, though, I still think TSM have a lot of potential to start to swing it back. Of course, Bolo will be playing again on Wednesday, so you will still get to see him.
The website is up and live, so you can use that.
Whenisboloplaying.com. I mean, I don't want to plug other websites, but then you can stop asking. So
BEAULALO.
The website also helps with the spelling, in case you were curious about how to pronounce it or spell it.
Yes. I think the person that got that website should probably just buy all the other domains with misspelling Bolo and just have them redirect to the original.
Why isn't .bolo like a top level domain at this point? So overall, though, that is the EG we expected. That is the EG, that's the confident EG that we see most of the time, but I feel like we haven't always seen sometimes, especially against the match against Reciprocity. They really seem to not have that level of coordination and play. We saw that more so from Reciprocity's side. So overall, I think really good. We'll see, of course, Reciprocity play up next. So we'll, see if they still have that same level of coordination against a team like SSG, or if SSG will bring it to a glorious draw. Yeah, Rogue didn't draw earlier, so maybe SSG won't. We're still waiting on the interview, of course, to see who we're going to be talking to here. From
we'll see if we actually do have the interview at the end of it.
Yeah, we've been struggling on some of those, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of getting someone. I mean, hey, we even had someone from his phone earlier, which was Enemy EU. Yeah, so come on now. You got Skype on your phone. Just pull it out. So you don't need a webcam. You don't know fancy things. But we got someone here on the line to talk to now.
Yeah, we actually do. So let's put that up on the board. Let's go. Ahmad. Good evening, Habibi. How are you?
Doing very well. Good evening.
Well, excellent game from the entire team, but specifically from yourself. It was kind of tough in the beginning for you guys playing against TSM. Was there anything in their playstyle that kind of seemed difficult for you to crack?
Nothing really felt like out of line or difficult. They did catch us off guard a couple of rounds, especially that one round when they went tellers and they hit in stock and we missed round. But outside of that, it was pretty standard. They did a basement roam, which we've run into before. It was nothing new. I wouldn't say there was anything surprising.
Okay. Well, Peter is having fun in the back, isn't he? As usual. Oh, there we go. Oh. All right. Well, ton of fun. I get distracted by pets all the time. So, in terms of genuine plays, the Habana is not usually an operator that you'd see really playing on the outside of the map, on the rappel. Was there a reason to really run it in that way, or was there any utility or walls where you're trying to snipe from that distance with the operator?
So there was no specific reason we went Habana for their other sites other than their basement. We picked it as a safety op just in case we needed it for hard breach. The thing is, the role I play on the outside, on the outskirts for rappels and watching lobby, you can do it with any op, so as long as they have an ACOG. Ultimately, you're watching flank. There was no specific walls other than the E3 walls that we wanted to get, but that was just for purely for pressure.
And the one round also when you had Canadian running the Monty that walked up Spiral, was that just a strategy that you wanted to throw out there to really have an extra wrench in the cogs of TSM, or how is it planned out? Because at that point we were also seeing a lot of pressure from TSM from the elevator itself.
We actually picked a Monty for a different site. We picked Monty for basement, and they went CEO, which kind of worked out for us because we do have a CEO take with Montaigne. And it worked out ultimately because they played it super passive, and if you give enough control for the Montaigne going up spiral and stuff like that, it creates an insane amount of pressure that is hard to take back. But that was the reason we picked Montaigne. It was not really for a certain strat other than lower.
It wasn't really prepared, but it worked up anyways.
No.
I mean, it's not the first time. It's a very much OG strategy from back in the days, and it will continue to work as time will continue to prove it. But congratulations again on your victory, Ahmad. Anything you'd like to say to all the EG fans out there?
We appreciate it, and thank you for sticking with us through our highs and lows.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you in another grand final at some point in time. We'll see a victory maybe one day. Thank you very much for that, Ahmad. We'll see you next time. It's only in a few days, and you'll be playing against Dark Zero, so that's a game to definitely be excited about. Good night. Have a good night.
One of these times, though, we got to get an interview with Zoro instead. That's really what it's about. These team dogs. That's going to be the thing now, right? Is the team dogs. You've got, obviously, Rogue's dog.
Honestly, at this point,
Zoro.
I don't know if Zoro is the cute one or is it Peter. Peter's such a cutie, isn't he? No?
I like how he specifically was trying to play with Zoro in the background to get him showing up there. But we're always a fan of the animal mascots of the teams here. So
I found this beautiful Instagram account, and it's an Etsy store as well, and has like cats that put on some cute stuff and cute hats.
All right, well, we're ready for a break to go to the next match. So
last one of the day, it's Reciprocity versus SSG. Will be another tie. Who knows? We'll be back in just a few.